Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. The Luzerne County coroner confirming that a Wilkes-Barre teen who was stabbed last month has died, and following an autopsy, it's now a homicide. According to police, 59-year-old Milton Clark stabbed his nephew, 17-year-old Therese Prevlion, in the left lower abdomen in a home at 97 Holland Street back on April 23rd. The boy's mother called 911 and said that the two argued after she asked her son to get Clark to stop watching her while she was taking a bath. By the time she intervened, her son was stabbed. Clark fled the scene but was later located by police on South Main Street with a knife in his hands. He was charged with aggravated assault and simple assault and remains behind bars on $100,000 cash bail. So far, no word on whether the charges will be upgraded. A man who unknowingly dropped a large amount of money at a Sheetz in Schuylkill County is now deciding if he will press charges against a woman who picked it up and took it. The victim dropped over $1,000 Sunday afternoon at the West Market Street and Gordon Nagel Trail Sheet store. The woman who took the money was identified from camera surveillance footage and help from the public. Though these cases are rare, a section of the state crime code does state that a person who comes into control of property of another that they know to have been lost or mislaid is guilty of theft. Authorities also say that if someone finds money, especially accompanied by identification, they should try and find the owner. The woman's name has not been released, and it's still unclear if she will be facing any charges in that Schuylkill County incident. And we've just learned moments ago that he is not pressing charges in connection with that incident. 3 people are facing charges, and 2 children were taken into protective custody after police say they found them running around naked outside a home in Plymouth on Tuesday. Officers were called to 31 Vine Street yesterday morning to reports of children running around outside under the supervision of a woman who appeared to be under the influence. A welfare check of the home revealed deplorable conditions, and the children appeared to not have bathed for an extended period of time. The children's parents, 28-year-old Amanda Dombrowski and 29-year-old Christian Fliss, along with the babysitter, 23-year-old Elizabeth Hall, were charged with child endangerment. All 3 were arraigned and released on $50,000 unsecured bail. Luzerne County Children and Youth Services took the 3- and 4-year-old into protective custody. The U.S. Attorney's Office announced that 35-year-old Derek Montz of Schuylkill Haven was sentenced to 105 months imprisonment, followed by 4 years on supervised release by Senior U.S. District Court Judge Richard Caputo for participating in a drug trafficking conspiracy that distributed heroin and meth in the Schuylkill County area in 2016. Montz previously pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute more than 100 grams of heroin and more than 50 grams of meth. 100 grams of heroin is equivalent to approximately 4,000 retail bags of heroin. This case is part of Project Safe Neighborhoods. That's a program bringing together all levels of law enforcement and the communities they serve to reduce violent crime and make our neighborhoods safer for everyone. McAdoo police charging an 18-year-old with corruption of minors and simple assault, that following an incident in the borough last month. Police say 18-year-old Christian Zamudo of Hazleton and 3 minors were causing a commotion in a common space in an apartment complex on West Blaine Street. A 77-year-old victim asked Zamudio and company to leave, and the offender punched the victim in the face. Police were able to identify Zamudio due to witnesses and video surveillance at the building. A former scrapyard may become the site of a new adult daycare facility in the city of Wilkes-Barre. Geisinger has been working with the property owner and city to bring the facility to a vacant property on South Main Street that used to be the former site of the Henry Shapiro and Company scrapyard. An engineer for the project addressed City Council Tuesday night. Council was presented with a resolution to approve the city to apply for a $718,000 grant from the state's Industrial Sites Reuse Program. The proposed 15,000 square foot facility would create about 60 jobs. Well, last night, WYLN hosting a live Hazleton mayoral debate with the Democratic candidates, and our Julia Wiegand has the recap.
Hazleton's Democratic mayoral candidates faced off in a live debate last night right here in our WYLN studio. Our own Tiffany Cloud and Gary Perna co-moderated the forum, which featured Maria Cicchetti and Grace Cuso. Third candidate Bob Yevak declined WYLN's invite to debate. Before opening statements, both candidates were able to comment on Yevak being a no-show at this debate. Both said a move like that displayed how unprepared and scared he is for the mayoral seat. Later in the hour, both candidates stated they would not be backing the triumphant Democrat come May 21st. Cuso insists that new faces throughout administration would take care of many of its problems, including the police chief.
We need to clean house, and we need to start all over. And you know what? If they're not doing their job, then you get rid of them. Our transit has, 4 people now? Before, it had 1.5 when it was the transit authority. Why do you need all these people? Look at the parking. Look at the parking garage. I think the parking garage itself downtown and the parking lot should be put back into an authority, because that parking garage is going to cost us a fortune. It's in shambles. Go inside and look at the building itself. It is really falling apart.
Cicchetti agrees with not allowing patronage hires, but would evaluate positions with the best practices business model before firing away. How the city utilizes grants while being in Act 47 also came into play.
When you start to rely on them for your police and for your fire, inevitably you're going to run into problems. We have no tax base right now to speak of. We're the second poorest city in the state of Pennsylvania. So, through my 21st century green tech business plan, I plan to improve the tax base. And when the tax base is improved, we can actually afford to do these things without relying on iffy grants. And the police and fire grants are very iffy.
Both candidates agreed that transparency is key to the mayoral office, both with the public and with council. Cicchetti went first, stating she'd try to have monthly public meetings along with council meetings because council meetings shouldn't be focused on mayoral duties. Even uncomfortable questions should be answered. Cuso followed, saying that her door would always be open as mayor and that she would hide nothing from the public.
If you have a question, you are more than welcome in my office. Mm-hmm. And if you need an explanation, I have no problem giving it to you. And I think that's one of our problems is they don't want to tell you anything. It's like, oh, we can't let her know this, we can't let her know that. And that's got to stop. Okay. We've got to stop it.
Cuso led off closing statements, acknowledging that she can be aggressive, but that you need somebody aggressive as mayor, someone who will go in there and communicate and work with everyone, and that she is that candidate. Cicchetti followed, stating that the old school, good old boy club of Hazleton politics has brought us to financial catastrophe as a city, and that as a trilingual candidate, she brings 21st century skills and ideas to the table.
I speak Spanish, I speak French, I speak English, and I make sense. Beyond this, if we don't move into the 21st century, if we stay with the old guard, we will become an extinct city. The warehouses are going away, the old jobs are going away, and if you think we're in financial trouble now, just wait and see if we don't change.
WYLN TV will be rebroadcasting these Democratic candidates on Monday, May 13th from 7 to 8 p.m. and again on Saturday, May 18th from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julia Wiegand.
And stay tuned. Later in this newscast, we will have the details on the next debate here on WYLN. But first, coming up on WYLN News, a new head of schools at MMI Prep, plus a proposal to expand a private school tax credit program. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Hope you enjoyed that nice sunshine today, because overnight, clouds and 48, and then more clouds right into the beginning of next week. We'll be right back.
Don't make the big box mistake. Shop local and save at Grand Central in Hazleton. Get better prices than the big box store on our huge selection of furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics at Grand Central in Hazleton and at the Laurel Mall.
One day I had a dull ache on my right side. They found a growth on my uterus. I thought it is probably cancer.
When I first met Catherine, the first thing I wanted to do was reassure her that she was going to receive excellent care. We had to address this cancer right away.
Trust the leading cancer care experts at Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute to give you hope and more, with access to more clinical trials and advanced treatment options.
I'm cancer-free thanks to Lehigh Valley Hospital.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
Don't make the big box mistake. Shop local and save at Grand Central in Hazleton. Get better prices than the big box store on our huge selection of furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics at Grand Central in Hazleton and at the Laurel Mall.
The Hanover Area School District will recover $250,000 from a transportation overpayment with an insurance claim. That's according to the district solicitor, William Finnegan. The insurance company will then try to recover that payment with a lawsuit against the transportation company. The district overpaid Frank and Dorothy Chivarella for a van service, and the school board terminated that van service in February. The State Auditor General's office is investigating the overpayment and is expected to issue a report on its findings. MMI Preparatory School has a new head of schools that will start in July. Justin Klindehinder has been hired by the board of directors. Klindehinder is a New Jersey native with nearly 20 years of experience as a teacher and administrator in independent schools like MMI. He comes to MMI from Thomas Jefferson Independent School in Joplin, Missouri. Klindehinder, his wife, and 3 children will be moving to MMI's head of school home this summer. Republicans in the Pennsylvania House are moving a proposal ahead to expand a private school tax credit program. Representatives voted Tuesday to nearly double the Educational Improvement Tax Credit by increasing it by $100 million. The bill also includes an automatic 10% increase if all available credits are used in a given year. All Republicans and 4 Democrats voted for it, advancing the proposal on to the Senate. Governor Wolf has proclaimed May 8th, today, as State Employee Recognition Day. The governor thanks state employees for their dedicated service to the residents of Pennsylvania in areas of public health and safety, law enforcement, safeguarding the environment, road safety, and preserving historical, natural, and cultural resources. He also thanked them for raising $3 million for charitable organizations last year through the annual State Employee Combined Appeal. 49 state employees will be honored at the end of May at the annual Governor's Awards for Excellence. And Governor Wolf is commuting life sentences of 3 inmates, bringing his total to 8. That's more than any governor in the past quarter century. Governor Wolf acted last week in the case of a man sentenced for standing by during a stabbing and agreeing to hide the knife, another man who shot to death a neighbor, and a man who served as a lookout during a bank robbery in which a customer was killed. The three must spend at least a year in a halfway house before being released. A bill was recently approved that will help create jobs and revitalize lands that have been impacted by coal mining. That bill was proposed by Democratic Congressman Matt Cartwright and approved by the U.S. House Natural Resources Committee. The Revitalizing the Economy of Coal Communities by Leveraging Local Activities and Investing More Act, also known as the Reclaim Act, will help with the investment of $1 billion in unappropriated funds that will help communities revitalize lands that have been affected by coal mining operations. Cartwright stated the bill will create jobs and lead to the economic development of clean water and lands. Coming up on Chapel Hill's News Choice, some parking changes coming to Jim Thorpe. Plus, it hurts. In Wellness Wednesday, how you can avoid carpal tunnel and what to do if it does happen to you. Stay with us.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is honored to serve you. And this month, we're honoring those who have served us during the Bigger Things sales event. Lease a new 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 for just $269 a month. Learn more at allamericanjeep.net.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Krugel's Georgetown Deli has been voted Northeastern Pennsylvania's best craft beer selection several years running.
Krugel's is your craft beer headquarters, and gift baskets are available for all occasions.
Krugel's is home of the Crowler. Fill your Crowler up in their tap system and keep your favorite beer fresh longer. Krugel's Georgetown Deli, Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow.
Stop in and play Keno or other Pennsylvania lottery games.
Check them out on the web at georgetowndeli.com.
Save now on a vehicle that blends city style with wilderness spirit. It's the Jeep Celebration event at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get outside in a new Jeep Wrangler Sport 4x4 starting at $33,799. Learn more at allamericanjeep.net.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesday here on Community and You on WYLN. I'm Gary Perna, and today we're on location at the Health and Wellness Center, and I'm with Dr. Abbasi, and we're talking about carpal tunnel. And we hear a lot of people saying, my wrists hurt, I think I have carpal tunnel. But, doctor, is it really true when most people come into the office here, and they're saying, I've just had this pain, it really hurts. Is it truly they're feeling some carpal tunnel, or is it just pain?
It could be a number of things. It could be tendonitis or wrist pain on the outside of the wrist. It could be, which is an overuse injury. They could have arthritis depending on their age. It could be nerve related, which could be carpal tunnel, or it could be other types of nerve related syndromes that need to be diagnosed or misdiagnosed. So there's a number of different things wrist pain and hand pain can be. There's locking syndromes like trigger finger. I don't know if people have heard of that. So there's a number of things that need to be checked out before we can kind of call it carpal tunnel. So it's always good to get it checked out.
So if somebody comes in to you, what would be the first step for them, and maybe the first step for you, and starting to look to see if it is truly carpal tunnel?
Well, we always start with kind of what's going on, the history, the physical examination is very, very important. And for me, that's the most important part of my assessment is what's been happening, how does it happen, when does it come on, and that's usually 80% of the battle in kind of figuring out what this is going to be. After that, once we get a very, very good idea, if we feel that it's nerve-related versus something more muscular like tendonitis or capsulitis or arthritic conditions, then we may go ahead and do nerve testing or a nerve study called an EMG or nerve conduction study.
So right now we know, and we've heard for years, that you have carpal tunnel, you have to go for surgery. Is that true?
No, so the reason we do the nerve testing is because we want to make sure that it's not a pinched nerve coming out of your neck or a pinched nerve coming out of your elbow, and that it's truly a nerve at the wrist, and that you don't have any other nerve syndromes that can affect all the nerves in your hands, which is kind of like neuropathy, like sometimes diabetics have, or people with thyroid-related conditions. So when we do the testing, we can find out the severity of the pinching of the nerve in the wrist, because carpal tunnel is actually a pinched nerve in the wrist. Mm-hmm. And so the way we treat that is dependent on what classification you fall into, mild, moderate, or severe. And usually when it's mild, or even in the early parts of moderate, we usually start with bracing, where people wear braces at night.
Now, I know the carpal tunnel, it's in the wrist. So we see a lot of people who are on keyboards all day, or who may be, working at machines or computers where they're constantly moving. But are there other types of, I guess, maybe nerve problems that they could have from other types of movements that they're doing?
Right, so a lot of times nowadays we're doing a lot of texting on our phones, so there's sometimes nerve impingement happening at the elbow when we're bent too far, and that can also manifest with numbness and tingling, but it's usually in these two fingers, what we call the fourth and fifth finger, rather than the first three fingers, which are more common in carpal tunnel. Okay. But you're right, actually, as going into some of the treatments, talking about keyboarding and positioning at work, that's actually one of the treatment options. So another treatment option is, hey, what's your workstation look like? And we can get occupational therapists involved. Occupational therapy is one of the treatment options, with stretching and hand therapy, and getting them to even assess the workstation and adjust things just enough so that you're getting less issues at the elbow and less issues at the wrist. And that can make the difference between having an operation and having things progress versus not.
So again, real simple, that don't be afraid if you're having pains in your wrists and your hands and you're not sure, and you're thinking right away, you go to, oh, it's carpal tunnel, oh my God, I got to go for surgery. Not true. You can come in and there's many options we can go before that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have the syndrome. I use chiropractic. Dr. Gavio does a Graston technique on my wrists. There's injections that can also be done. So there's a wide variety of things, and they sometimes can be in concert to kind of manage these symptoms before it gets bad enough to warrant surgery.
All right. So you heard it from the doctor. So if you're having some of those problems, give them a call here at LVHN and get an appointment and see, because you don't know until you get in and get an exam, so you're sure what your next options are. Thanks for joining us here on Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
Tuesday, May 14th, from 7 to 8 p.m., WYLN presents the Hazleton City Council Forum with Jack Mundy, Gene Mope, Nicaro Soto, Lauren Sacco, Victor Acevedo, and Peter Androsco. WYLN is taking the lead Thursday, May 14th, the Hazleton City Council Forum, live.
Carbon County commissioners are moving forward with their plan to add kiosks in the county parking lot in Jim Thorpe. The project will cost over $100,000, but all the money is coming from the parking fund. Commissioners say on busy weekend traffic gets backed up at the toll booth to pay for parking, but now cars will be able to pay at a kiosk after they park, which will keep the cars moving off the road and the tracks. The county is moving forward with a kiosk system in the parking lot behind the train station, just like the borough did on Broadway. There will be about a dozen units for people to pay. And Thursday night, WYLN TV will air our second live debate, this one featuring the two Republicans running for Hazleton mayor. That debate starts at 7 p.m. sharp live on WYLN TV and WYLNTV.com. The event to be hosted by Gary Perna and Tiffany Cloud. Then, May 14th, the Hazleton City Council candidates will join us for a council forum. That forum will be live at 7 on the 14th and feature all 6 Republican and Democratic candidates running for the 2 open seats. Then, May 16th, WYLN will air a special WYLN Reports with all the Hazleton area school board candidates. Once again, WYLN TV taking the lead in bringing you all the information that you will need for the election, so you're informed when primary election day rolls around, and that is May 21st. And that's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our WYLN News Facebook page. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
I enjoy my active senior life, so feeling good and staying fit is important to me, but I wasn't comfortable joining a gym.
So my friends insisted that I would like physical fitness. A healthcare professional analyzed my body needs and developed a fitness program exclusively for me.
Join this week and your initial fee is waived. That's a savings of $99.
Love your life even more.
Call Physical Fitness today for your personalized medically based fitness program.
Have your event with Whitetail, graduation, birthday, bachelor, reunion parties? They have the most tranquil backyard experience with beautiful mountains in the background. If your company or business wants a different alternative to a golf outing, they have outings that can accommodate you. You can have the entire facility to yourself. They will work with you to set up your day of events. Sporting clay competitions, trap and wobble trap games, skeet. After a day of shooting, you'll return to a meal designed for you. Call Mike at 570-535-6123 for available group options. Primary Election Day is Tuesday, May 21st, and WYLN is taking the lead and bringing you all the election results. Watch WYLN for election coverage live from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on May 21st. We'll also have reporters all over the region interviewing the winners and talking to the voters. Plus, we'll be sharing that live on our WYLN News Facebook page. So this election, get your numbers on WYLN TV 35. We're taking the lead.